Next up on Tuned Into NoCo, we have the co-chair of NoCo Down Syndrome Walk, Brittany Schiager, with us. First off, Brittany, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So to start, can you tell our listeners a little bit about Northern Colorado Down Syndrome Association?
Yeah. So Northern Colorado Down Syndrome Association, the main kind of purpose of our group is to really provide support and connection for individuals with Down syndrome and their families and friends and whatever their kind of community of people looks like. And we do that through a lot of ways. So we do that through advocacy and relationship and just kind of bringing awareness and also holding fun events for all of our families and community, like our Down Syndrome Walk.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's talk a little bit more about that. What should people know?
Yeah. So it's an annual walk that we do. It's usually the first weekend of October. This year it is Saturday, October 1st. And it's going to be at Boardwalk Park in Windsor. And this is our big annual fundraising event for Northern Colorado Down Syndrome Association. So it helps us bring in funds to host activities and give new family baskets and stuff like that. But it's a great way for families in our community to come together and get involved and just be at a big event. It's been kind of different the last few years. So this is one of our second year kind of back to our normal big event. So we're excited.
Yeah, it sounds super fun. It looks like you guys have food trucks, inflatables, and you have 2 walk routes and a lot of other fun activities. If somebody would like to join in, do they need to RSVP or do they just show up?
Yeah, so there's a few ways people can register or join for our event. So we have our online platform that will be open through the day of the walk. So easiest way to get to that is to go to NoCoDownSyndrome.org. That's kind of like our host website, and that'll lead you to the walk website. So you can do that and register that way. Also, day of the walk, people can just show up and register. It's $20 a person. We have T-shirts after last Friday. T-shirts aren't guaranteed, but we ordered a bunch of extra, so we're hoping to be able to get people shirts if they want one.
That's great. Now, for this walk, is there a certain number you guys are hoping to raise?
You know, I mean, as much as we do each year, it's grown a little bit. I think our initial goal this year was like 45 to 50,000, and we broke 50,000 this last weekend. So that was huge for us.
Yeah.
But we've had a great year with lots of sponsors, lots of new sponsors, families like excited to get involved and come back and do the walk and stuff. So it's definitely a year of growth for us, which is great because it just lets us provide more of those opportunities and resources for our families. So
yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm sure you need a lot of people to put this event on. Are you guys still in need of volunteers?
We will never turn a volunteer away. So we have volunteers from kind of all of our community's different connections. We have volunteers from CSU and 4-H clubs and high schools and all over. But if there's anyone who wants to volunteer, like you can reach out to our walk email or even through our Facebook page or anything like that. And we will always take more help.
Awesome. You mentioned a Facebook page. You guys have a website as well?
We do. Yeah. Our website is NoCoDownSyndrome.org. So that's kind of like our main NCDSA website. And that has links to like our separate walk website and contact info. And I believe that has a link to our Facebook page as well.
Well, great. For our listeners, head to the NoCo Down Syndrome Walk. It's happening Saturday, October 1st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Boardwalk Park in Windsor. For more information on how to join in the walk or become a volunteer, you can visit their website at NoCoDownSyndrome.org. You can also email them at NoCoDownSyndromeWalk@gmail.com. You mentioned that you got a lot of new sponsors this year. If a business is still interested, can they?
Absolutely. We'll take sponsorships if people are still interested. The biggest thing is one of the ways we recognize sponsors is through our banners. And we had to send those off to print this week, but we still have our social media and our website. And we're always looking for community partners and businesses that want to kind of join with us and celebrate this event. So it's never too late.
Way cool. All right. Now, if someone can't make the event, can they still donate?
Absolutely. So through our walk website that you can access through our main NCDSA website, you can donate. You can, if you have a loved one or a family who made a team for our walk, you can link your donation specifically to their team. But that website is always open for donations through the day of the walk. And same with on-site. We have ways people can donate in person as well.
How do you see this walk helping those with Down syndrome in the Northern Colorado area?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that we've really strived with this walk is to just bring our community together and bring awareness. So I feel like it's been, like I said, a growth every year. And I think it's a great way for like kids at schools with our children or community members or people who are even just walking by the park to kind of come and see and just learn about the awareness of our kids with Down syndrome and how we're striving for inclusion and advocacy and just that community-focused engagement. So I think it's just a great opportunity to kind of learn more about our kids and people with Down syndrome and disabilities in general and kind of just bring that awareness to our community.
For sure. Well, it sounds like such a great event. Now let's switch gears a little bit here. Let's talk about you. How did you get involved with this?
Yeah, so I have two kiddos. My son Jason is 4 and he has Down syndrome, and then I have a 1-year-old daughter, Bryn. And we got involved in the NoCo Down syndrome walk shortly after Jason was born. So he was born end of July, and we went to our first Down syndrome walk that October. So he was itty bitty. He was on oxygen. We just kind of showed up. We didn't really know anyone. And we were just greeted with open arms and this community full of people who were like, hey, we get it. We're in this too. Like, how can we help you? What do you need? And even just that celebration piece was huge. So that was kind of our first exposure. And then I think I've been on the walk team for 3 years. So they sent out a call to action like, hey, we're looking for more volunteers. And I was like, I would love to help out with that.
Yeah.
So I emailed and been on the walk team for a few years. And then this year, my co-chair, Angela, and I were asked to kind of take over as it shifted gears. So it's been a big year for us, kind of taking the reins and doing new things and trying a new location. So it's been a big year for Angela and myself, and we're just excited to keep the event growing and to share.
How cool. Now, what resources does the Northern Colorado Down Syndrome Association provide people?
Yeah, so there's a variety. Like we do these events throughout the year. So there's, we have a First Steps group, which is like 0 to 5-year-olds. And it's usually like a playground or a park or a get together that's like once a month. So that's great for kind of that younger age range. There's a We Belong group that is like middle school, high school age kids who do events and activities, and like they'll go to Water World or like bowling or different stuff like that. So they'll do activities. And then they also host like a few big events throughout the year. They just finished up sponsoring this summer an I Can Swim camp. So it was a camp for our kids who have Down syndrome, but also children throughout the community who needed to learn to swim, might need that extra help. So they did that this summer, which was awesome. Last summer it was an I Can Bike camp, which was great. Other things too is they provide new baskets for new families. So when they get a new Down syndrome diagnosis after birth, someone from the group connects with them and gives them those resources. And a big thing too that the NCDSA does is they have scholarships for our families. So families can apply for a scholarship for like a sport or activity or unified in high school. They can apply for like medical needs or therapy or different stuff like that. So really the resources and support is endless. A lot of times the